evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham issues a royal decree. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed affirms, while receiving Her Excellency Dr. the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities of the State of Palestine, the Sultanate of Oman's continued support for the Palestinian cause. And tourism projects in the Governorate of Dhofar are accomplished with a total investment cost exceeding 3 million Omani riyals. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issued Royal Decree number 25/2023 on amending the provisions of Royal Decree number 6/2006 on Oman Botanic Garden, reading as follows. Article 1. The text of Articles 1 and 3 of Royal Decree number 6/2006 shall be replaced by the following texts. Article 1. The area whose dimensions are demarcated in the attached map shall be a nature reserve under the name Oman Botanic Garden. It shall be affiliated to the Ministry of Heritage and Tourism. Article 3. Within the context of Oman Botanic Garden, the Ministry of Heritage and Tourism shall exercise all powers stated in the law on nature reserves and wildlife conservation. The Minister shall issue the bylaws and decisions necessary for the implementation of this decree through coordination with the authorities concerned. Article 2. This decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and shall come into effect. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a gable of greetings to Her Excellency President Dr. Andrzej Duda of the Republic of Poland on the occasion of his country's National Day. Meanwhile, His Majesty the Sultan sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Santiago Peña, the elected President of the Republic of Paraguay. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received today Her Excellency Dr. Rola Nabil Gibran Ma'ai'a, Minister of Tourism and Antiquities of the State of Palestine. His Highness welcomed Her Excellency and the accompanying delegation. At the beginning of the meeting, Her Excellency the guest conveyed the greetings and good wishes of the Palestinian leadership to the leadership of the Sultanate of Oman, wishing the Omani people further progress and development. Her Excellency expressed the appreciation of the Palestinian people for the permanent support that the Palestinian cause enjoys from the Sultanate of Oman. His Highness affirmed the Sultanate of Oman's continued support for the Palestinian cause and for all efforts aimed at restoring the legitimate national rights of the Palestinian people. The meeting dealt with a review of the existing bilateral relations between the two countries and ways to enhance cooperation between them in the fields of heritage, tourism, and museums. The current developments on the regional and international arenas were also discussed. For her part, Her Excellency and the accompanying delegation expressed their happiness with the visit for its positive aspects in terms of consultation and exchange of views on many issues, affirming her country's pride in the tangible progress witnessed by the Sultanate of Oman and the comprehensive renaissance achieved at various levels. Her Excellency also praised the important role played by the Sultanate of Oman in supporting the causes of the Arab nation and supporting the efforts of reconciliation, peace, and stability in the region, which earned it the respect and appreciation of all. The meeting was also attended by His Excellency Salim bin Mohammed Al Mahrouqi, Minister of Heritage and Tourism, and His Excellency Jamal bin Hassan Al Musawi, Secretary General of the National Museum. The Sultanate of Oman and the State of Palestine have signed agreements to establish a Omani exhibition in Palestine and a special corner for the State of Palestine in the Omani National Museum. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i.
The dream of Palestinians for an independent state. The city of Jerusalem as the capital for the independent state of Palestine is the direction that Arabs exert their efforts to resolve core issues that driving the conflict. The Sultanate of Oman's position is clear towards the Palestinian issue, backing land for peace principle espoused under the Arab Initiative. The historical depth of relations between the Sultanate of Oman and the Palestinian Authority is well realized. On the current visit of Her Excellency the Minister of Tourism and Antiques, agreements were signed, where the National Museums signed 2 agreements with the Palestinian Minister of Tourism and Antiques. The first stipulated the launching of an exhibition and activities for Oman Day in the sisterly state of Palestine, so that the exhibition would be mobile, provided that coordination would take place later between the 2 parties regarding the venues and timings of the exhibition. Scientific heritage of the Sultanate of Oman at the regional and international levels, where the establishment of a corner for the State of Palestine in the National Museum aims to introduce the visitor to the cultural heritage of Palestine throughout the ages.
The 2 agreements we signed today are very important for us as Palestinians, and especially in the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities. These 2 agreements will give us the opportunity to have more and more cooperation with Oman. The first agreement is important because there will be artifacts, Palestinian artifacts here in the National Museum in Oman that will give the possibility for the people of Oman and for also internationals who visit Oman to see the history of Palestine and Palestinians. And of course the other agreement is vice versa.
Palestine as a civilization, Palestine as a nation, Palestine as people is living in our hearts and minds. And we could not but extend our arms and our willingness to promote their just cause from the cultural and the museographical perspective here within the confines of the National Museum through signing 2 milestone agreements.
The 2 agreements aim to enhance cooperation between the State of Palestine and the Sultanate of Oman in the fields of tourism and cultural heritage. The National Museum also launched the exhibits of the late Palestinian President Yasser Arafat in the Hall of Greatness of Islam, which represented in a model of the Dome of the Rock chapel donated by the late Palestinian President Yasser Arafat to the late Sultan Qaboos bin Said bin Taimur, may God rest their souls. This was in 1989, and a round painting of the Dome of the Rock donated by Palestinian President to Sultan Qaboos in the year 2001. The display of the belongings of the late President Yasser Arafat to the National Museum will indeed boost the relationship between the 2 countries. Oman remain with its strong backing to the Land for Peace principle espoused under the Arab Peace Initiative, considering it as a permanent, fair and final solution to resolve the Palestinian-Israeli and Arab-Israeli conflict. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, received Her Excellency Sania Abu Qasim Ghoma, Ambassador of Libya, accredited to the Sultanate of Oman, to bid her farewell at the end of her duties as Ambassador to the Sultanate of Oman. During the meeting, His Excellency the Minister of the Royal Office welcomed Her Excellency the Ambassador, who expressed her gratitude and appreciation for the cooperation she received from all officials in the Sultanate of Oman, praising the strength of the bilateral relations between the two countries. His Excellency, the Minister of the Royal Office, also thanked Her Excellency, the Ambassador, for the efforts she exerted to strengthen the existing relationships between her country and the Sultanate of Oman during her work tenure, wishing her continued success. Meanwhile, His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, received His Excellency Dr. Khalid bin Saleh bin Shataif, Ambassador of the Republic of Yemen, accredited to the Sultanate of Oman. During the meeting, cordial conversations were exchanged on a number of common areas of cooperation between the two countries, and a number of matters and ways of developing them were discussed. For his part, His Excellency, the Ambassador, praised the efforts of the Sultanate of Oman in its endeavors to resolve the Yemeni crisis and its support for achieving peace in coordination with all relevant international parties. The Ministry of Heritage and Tourism has completed the implementation of 3 tourism projects in the Governorate of Dhofar in partnership with the Dhofar Municipality and Umran Company, with a total investment cost exceeding 3 million Omani riyals. The implemented projects include the development of Al Mughasil Beach Waterfront, Hamrir View, Wadi Darbat, and Ain Jerzis to strengthen the components of the Governorate of Dhofar in order to be a sustainable tourism destination throughout the year. The Ministry of Heritage and Tourism is exerting efforts to utilize and develop the natural sites in the Governorate of Dhofar to create a tourism and economic tributary during various tourism seasons, including Kharif and Surab seasons. In order to achieve the Strategic Logistical Vision 2040, Asyad Ports Company revealed an increase in handling volumes in its operations by 88% during the year 2022. The Asyad Ports Company, affiliated to the Omani International Group for Asyad Logistics, stated that the total general cargo handled at the Oman's company's ports exceeded 3 million tons during the past year. The company indicated that the total financial revenues in the port of Sultan Qaboos, the terminals of Asyad Duqm, the land port of Khazayan, the ports of Suwaiq and Shinas increased by 15%, while the net profits increased by 15%. The Municipal Council in the Governorate of Musandam discussed during its 5th meeting this year a number of service and development topics. The Council also got acquainted with the responses forwarded to it and approved a number of recommendations from the various meetings. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sayyid Ibrahim bin Saeed Al Busaidi, Governor of Musandam. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Fine Arts Exhibition Bariq is launched in Oman Across Asia's museum in the Wilaya of Manah. The launch of Waqf Share for Education was the main topic in Al Sharqiya University celebrations of its annual day after accomplishing a number of local, regional, and international achievements for 2 decades in the scientific, cultural, and social fields. The event was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Saeed Al Ma'mari, Minister of Endowments and Religious Affairs. The Ministry of Energy and Minerals, alongside of Oman Energy Association, OPAL, organized the first Mining Leaders Safety Forum today. More details in the following report.
With approximately 100 executives and senior leaders representing the public and private sector, the first Mining Leaders Safety Forum was launched today. The forum aims to establish a strong alliance between the key parties involved in the operations, management and sustainability of the mining sector nationwide.
To the measure the success of any sector or industry depends heavily on the HSE environment, the safety environment that we set. That's proven in the oil and gas sector is very clear, and that's why it's very important for us to take the lessons from the oil and gas sector into the mining sector and to prepare the leadership of the organizations in the mining sector to be prepared for the challenges and the opportunities when it comes to in the mining sector when it comes to improving the HSE culture.
The first Mining Leaders Safety Forum focused on occupational health, safety and environment guidelines for minerals exploration in the Sultanate of Oman manual, which was prepared by the Ministry of Energy and Minerals. It also viewed different local laws and regulations and the commitment level of those within the mining sector.
Mining sector overall is very critical to the country. It's for the economy, and the leaders today here actually are the main people who can drive the change. Their presence, their participation today would be very important to set up the roadmap for mining HSE 2030 plan. So we're going to develop a 2030 plan today, inshallah, as a draft version, and to set the forum, as a mutual or a normal event that will continue over the time.
The forum will focus on the main challenges faced by mining sector and how we can replicate oil and gas health and safety standards into the mining sector.
It's noteworthy that OPAL, in partnership with the Ministry of Energy and Minerals, achieved major improvements in the HSE standardization of oil and gas industry. Those improvements include 10 HSE standards and 1 guideline document for the oil and gas sector to streamline management of HSE, unify practices and processes, as well as governance, resulting in financial and organizational benefits for the sector.
The Technical Board of Heads of GCC Standardization Authorities held its 55th meeting in Muscat today. The 2-day meeting reviewed a number of topics, including the approval draft Gulf Standard and technical regulations, as well as the GCC Standardization Organization's plan for the period 2021 to 2025. The meeting discussed projects of joint cooperation aimed at enhancing conformity assessment services with member states. It also looked into a mechanism set for the participation of parties concerned in the meeting of the technical board. It also touched on the use of the Gulf Conformity Mark system being considered as substitute for the Gulf Quality Mark. The meeting also reviewed a unified progress report drafted by GCC technical committees tasked with specializations, the issue of specifications, technical work guides, and the assessment of the performance of GCC technical committees for the year 2020. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Saleh bin Saeed Masan, Under Secretary of the Minister of Commerce and Industry for Commerce and Industry. The 5th Annual Entrepreneurship Forum was held today in the University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Sour, under the patronage of His Highness Sayyid Mohammed bin Thawani Al Saeed. The forum was attended by a number of entrepreneurs, industry experts, academics, and government officials. More details in the following report.
The 5th Annual Entrepreneurship Forum was organized in South Al-Sharqiyya Governorate with a wide participation from various sectors.
In this forum, we are trying to spotlight and focus in the importance of entrepreneurship, showing its role in enhancing the economic, and we are trying to lead entrepreneurs to the right way to be a good businessman.
The forum included a number of sessions, lectures, and discussions about the youth abilities and talents that help them to contribute in the economic growth in the Sultanate of Oman and the current challenges they face when it comes to entrepreneurship experience.
When we have to talk about the entrepreneurship, it's a global phenomena. The whole world is really talking about this. What is happening today, statistics showing that there are more than 580 million entrepreneurs in the world.
Organizing this event aims to educate graduates, job seekers, and retired employees who are ready to start their entrepreneurship journey, as it's considered as a promising opportunity.
There is a lot of programs that's currently been introduced to develop SMEs in Oman. As SME Authority, for example, we have a couple of programs that enables SMEs, starting from consultations program, monitoring program, financing programs. We have also programs that's related to providing opportunities for SMEs and programs that's related to fixing policies that will enable SMEs within the whole governmental institutions and as well as private sector.
A number of local entrepreneurs, industry experts, academics, and government representatives participated in this forum to exchange their experiences with those who are planning to have their own startups. This gathering comes to reinforce the idea of entrepreneurship in the Sultanate of Oman, as it's one of the leading pillars of economic growth in the country. Sultan bin Saif al-Sara'i from South Al-Sharqiyya Governorate, Wilaya of Sur.
Sheikha Nadira Riyami School, in partnership with the Omani Women Association in the Wilaya of Manah, inaugurated today a fine arts exhibition at Oman Across Ages Museum. More details in the following report.
As many as 80 sophisticated paintings and creative artworks covering various themes of identity, traditions, and heritage made by the students of Sheikha Nadira Riyami School were showcased at the Bariq exhibition, which was inaugurated at the Oman Across Ages Museum in the Wilaya of Manah in Al-Dakhiliya Governorate.
I'm very happy to be in this amazing building of the new museum. I was very impressed with all I saw as works from our young students, female students, especially that they were allowed to show their talent in this form, especially the talent linked to our culture and Omani society. And I hope to see more of their work around the Sultanate, inshallah.
The exhibition comprises 5 prominent corners reflecting the artistic expression of students in the Arabic calligraphy, pastel drawing, design, mosaic, pencil drawing, abstract art, as well as a corner for the products of the Omani Women's Association.
This exhibition is a very nice chance for the school to show the community as well as the parents how talented are our students. Also, it has a very nice aim, which is one of the aims that the school is trying to achieve, which is to build an environment that supports the students' creativity, innovation, excellence, as well as refinement of talent.
Our corner is shaded work, and we focused on shadow and light, and we used pencil and charcoal pencil, and we focused in different ages. Like there is some work for children, and also there is work for all people.
In our corner we use a type of needlecraft in which we use a hook to create a fabric from loops of yarn. Crochet can be used to make everything from blankets and scarves to hats and sweaters. It's a totally new experience for me. It increased the level of creativity, and it is a chance to show my work to the community.
In addition to highlighting their talents and creativity, the exhibition aimed to empower students economically by way of marketing their artworks, which would enable them to adopt and self-manage small projects in the future.
A platform of inspiration for these upcoming art stars to enrich their experiences and enhance their contributions to the national cultural arena. From Oman Across Ages Museum in the Wilaya of Manah, Salih Abu Khalfan al-Rahbi, Al-Dakhiliya Governorate.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham issues a royal decree. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed affirms while receiving Her Excellency Dr. the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities of the State of Palestine, the Sultanate of Oman's continued support for the Palestinian cause. And tourism projects in the Governorate of Dhofar are accomplished with a total investment cost exceeding 3 million Omani riyals. With that, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night and enjoy the rest of your week.